Hello and welcome back to the Sanders Kitchen. I'm Pam, my husband Mike's behind the camera. He's been doing most of his delicious recipes, but I'm back because you know I love to bake. So here we go. We're going to be making a delicious little dessert tonight, and it has guava. I had never tasted guava before, so it's not really a guava cake. My little grandson calls it jelly cake, but anyway, it's like little bars with like shortbread on the top and underneath with the guava in it. Oh, it's so good. So anyway, our main ingredients is guava paste. The recipe calls for a pound, but this right here is 1 pound and 5 ounces, but we're going to use it all because it's yummy. You don't want to leave any of it out. So anyway, when you're baking any kind of cake or something like that, you need butter. We love butter, so we got butter, and we have some sugar. I'm using Mexican vanilla. We have some eggs. We have our flour. We have salt, and we do have some baking powder, which I make my own baking powder because when you buy it at the store, if you look at the ingredients on a lot of the store brands, there's aluminum, which I don't want that. So you can make your own baking powder, and I'll include the ingredients below, but what it is, it's actually just baking soda and cream of tartar. So I make my own. Oops. So anyway, we'll get back and we'll put everything together. I have my 4 cups of flour, and I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of my baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to kind of aerate that, kind of just mix it together a little bit. And then we're going to come back and just mix our wet ingredients, and then incorporate it all together. Okay, we have our moist ingredients now. We have our butter, and I'm going to add my 2 cups of sugar. And I'm going to use my little handy little blender here. My butter was at room temperature. We're going to add our eggs. You just want to cream this together. It's going to be really, really good. We have vanilla. And we have 2 tablespoons of some water, which is going to thin it out just a little bit. And once this is creamed together, we're going to add our flour mixture. And that's going to make a little dough. I switched over that last little bit of flour that I added to my bowl. I went ahead and mixed it by hand because my little hand mixer was getting a little bogged down because this is a stiff dough. So I do have a bigger KitchenAid mixer, but I decided not to use that. So here's our dough. We're going to turn this out onto a floured surface, and we're going to go ahead and make our bottom layer of our dough. We're going to go ahead and flour it, which is always fun. Okay. We're going to turn our dough out onto our board. And it is pretty thick. And we're going to put a little flour on top so that we can work it. You really don't have to, it's not like making bread. So what we're going to do is cut this in half because we need a bottom and we need a top. So I'm going to set this on the side for right now. And we're going to roll this out. A little flour. You want to try to make it about the size of your pan, which is a 9 by 13 pan. And then you cut it A lot of times it's hard to release off of your board, so all you need to do, it's not really that critical, so what you do is you want to cut it in pieces. And you want to place it in your pan. And like I said, it's long as it's just pieced together on the bottom, it really doesn't matter. It may fall apart, but it's all going to bake together and it's going to be really good. It's a delicious dough. And you just got to make sure that it's all pieced in the bottom. You just press it all together to make a dough. Now, the star of the show is we have to cut our guava paste and layer it on this bottom dough. So here's our guava paste. It's got a nice little key in the back, like a can of sardines kind of thing, but anyway. Isn't that pretty? Here we go. It's a little hard getting out of the can. It's kind of like jelly cranberry sauce, but it's thicker than that. So you pop it upside down and don't lose any of it because it's all so good. So what you do is you just start taking these little layers and you can cut them and just cover the whole everything with the guava paste. It's all going to melt and get into the delicious dough underneath. And you just start slicing it like that. And we're going to get the whole thing covered, and then we'll come back and put the top layer of dough on the top. And then it's got to bake in a 350-degree oven, which I already have preheated. And it's going to bake for about 45 minutes until it's nice and golden on the top. And this is the second half. And we'll put some flour on the top. Whew. Smells good. It smells nice and sweet. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's all going to bake together. So we just want to make enough to cover the top. Let's take our little cutter again and go across like this. And it falls apart, but it all comes back together. Just make sure you cover it all with the dough. It's like that. Just press it all down to make a seal on the top. And we'll just piece in all the little spaces that we missed. Now, we're just going to press it all down, and I'm going to seal it all around the edges. And we're going to place this in, like I said, a preheated 350 degree oven for about 45 minutes. And when we come back, it'll be nice and brown and golden on the top, and it's going to taste so good. So anyway, that's good. We're going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. All right, it came out of the oven and it smells so good. It's got a little lightly brown crust on the top, and that's all you want. And it's cool just for a little bit, so we're going to cut a little piece and we're going to try it out. So I'm not going to cut the whole thing right now, but I'm going to cut a little square right here and use my little spatula. And see that delicious guava in the middle. It looks so good. So we're going to give it a try. And of course, it's always good. You know that. So anyway, let's give it a try. It's still hot, but I'm going to give it a try. That is so good. You could put vanilla ice cream with this, a little whipped cream on top, but the cake has sweetness in it. The guava in the middle is so good. It's just a great simple dessert, actually. I mean, it tastes delicious. So I want to give a thanks to my neighbor, Yvette. She brought this recipe to me, and she said it was not, we talked to her today, and she said she didn't make up this recipe, she just shared it, but it's delicious. It's so good. So anyway, give it a try. Thank you so much for tuning into our channel. If you like our recipes, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and that way you'll know when we're coming up with some delicious recipes for you. So anyway, thank you again for tuning in to our channel, and we love you. God bless.